underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond, episode 178, coming to you in glorious HD.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
I'm your host, Greg Miller, alongside rheumatoid arthritis, Ryan Clements.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And he only does everything, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
What's up, kids?
No, nothing.
Not much,
we're
man.
in the new podcast room.
It's nice.
I like it.
I like how dark it is, but it's kind of putting me to sleep a little bit.
Yeah, it's got that steakhouse vibe to it, plus chairs.
Oh, yeah, nice chairs.
Nice red
Ooh.
walls, black
Yeah,
walls.
I didn't even think about these chairs.
Yeah.
These are pretty good.
The new podcast room gets my seal of approval. Thanks for sticking out if you listened last week. We got it was interesting to see the emails about last week's GDC Diary episode. Old school Podcast Beyond fans loved it. They were happy to see the format return. New school Podcast Beyond fans couldn't understand why the mic was so bad.
Yeah.
I was walking around, dude, with a portable voice recorder.
In the wind.
In the wind
With your talk boy?
San Francisco, yeah. And actually, yeah, Preston wrote in and said,
The
Greg Miller,
talk back.
what
Is that
kind
what it was
of,
called?
I thought it was Talk Boy.
I thought it was it Talk Boy? Maybe it was
Wasn't
Talk
there like a something back where you like hit? You're like, no, I didn't, and it's like, no, I didn't. I didn't.
It was from Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone 2 is the Talk Boy for sure.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about the little toy that you recorded your voice into, and you just press a button and it replays that one little clip of your voice.
Oh, no, I don't know.
And then the commercial was like the little brother and sister are arguing, so he records his voice, and then the
he
sister
doesn't
is
say
saying
his
like,
name.
yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, I did. No, he didn't.
I've
Push the
often
button.
thought it'd be a great idea if somebody put together like an app that like took Mr. T recordings and used them, and then you could just use that in shows.
I don't think that's a good idea.
It sounds like a good podcast.
Mr. T.
Anyways, Preston wrote in asking what kind of recorder we were using last week. We were using a Sony IC recorder. I don't know, some handheld tape recorder. It does well when you're not running through the streets of San Francisco to not get run over,
Yeah.
and you're not at an obnoxious club. But
Yeah, and I want to apologize for us taking the time to record Podcast Beyond last week.
don't get defensive about it. It's just I don't think many people understood that we weren't in the podcast room
Yeah.
for some
Yeah.
reason. That was all on location.
I also love how when I asked Greg how the podcast turned out, because I was only on it for a few sections,
Yeah.
Greg kind of looked into the air and he was like, well, there's two things that are happening. It's either or doon, 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 which I thought was a great example.
Now you know what GDC was like. You guys lived it right there with us.
Yeah.
First-person perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into what is and forever will be the Roper Report, we need to announce the winners of some Killzone.
Yeah.
Limited
Ooh.
edition Helghast editions. If
Yeah.
everybody remembers this, you can buy the Helghast edition in stores nationwide. It comes with little Helghast stand, figures, 24 hours of XP, blah, blah, blah. The limited edition you cannot buy in stores. And the Helghast statue guy's eyes light up. So big bonus. What we asked you guys to do was to bring in some kind of fan art or a fan submission of Ryan Clements getting brutally killed in the Killzone 3 way. A lot of people did not do their research on what brutal kills were from Killzone and just sent in things of Ryan getting brutally murdered.
Yes.
Which is not the same.
That's fine. I mean, if
It's fine if you want to make that, but and I'm not saying it disqualified you. Obviously, many people will do.
Obviously.
But Killzone brutal kills where you walk up to somebody from behind with L1, you put your fingers through their eyes, stab them in the throat. We got a lot of good submissions.
Can I just say something real quick
Yeah,
as well?
please do.
We got a lot of submissions I was really impressed about.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for sending their.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen turnout for a Podcast Beyond contest.
But I do want to say this.
Hundreds of applicants.
Half of the, maybe not half, maybe a third of what we got submitted were totally half-assed.
Yeah.
Which is
we
fine.
said they could do that, though.
Which is fine, but this is the real deal prize, Greg.
Yeah.
So you really got to step your game up.
Yeah.
These guys stepped their game up.
Yeah.
Also, that
there were a
means-
lot of MS Paint submissions where they
But
were
we
like,
told them to do that.
LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they should have stepped it up.
You
as
need to
Colin
take
said.
more photos of yourself too, Ryan. I noticed a lot of the photo being used was, in fact, the Japan one.
Yeah.
The goofy sunglasses.
Well, but that's the thing is that right away that I look like a Helghast in that.
True.
So, but also I would argue that I have quite a few photos on Facebook. If you're my Facebook friend and you're more than welcome to friend me on Facebook, I will accept. There is probably 200 or so pictures of me.
All right. Well,
I'm sure there'd be one that you could
I'm
find.
just saying a lot of people had the same idea.
Yes,
apparently.
they definitely did.
I'm going to go down the list here of our 10 winners. They're in no particular order. Sony was nice enough to give us 11. So we fulfilled the Daily Fix request. If you didn't win today, watch the Daily Fix tomorrow on Friday, March 11th, right?
Whoa, we're giving away 10 of them?
11 of them, technically.
Oh my
10 of them here
goodness.
on Podcast Beyond.
I thought that we were just giving away one and we were picking the semifinalists right now.
No,
we
we've picked winners.
These are all
These
winners.
are winners. They're all.
These are the cream of the crop.
wonderful.
Greg and I unboxed all of them yesterday.
If you remember, I said, don't worry about getting these on time. Sony's going to send them right to you. Sony sent them all to us. I have 10 Helghast editions at my desk right now.
But Greg
lay
and I are gonna.
We have a date.
Yeah, we're gonna on Wednesday night. We're gonna send them out, and then we're gonna watch Pirates of Silicon Valley.
There you go.
So it's
We're
gonna
going
be
to get some pizza. Some za, too. You want to stay? You got to work out?
Yeah, I mean, I probably have to go work out.
Double up on the workouts on Sunday and stay out on Wednesday.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
As long as we don't get extreme pizza.
Oh, no, that won't happen. We'll probably get cheese.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? Some
I'm
cheese
digging
up in
that
this joint?
stuff.
What is that?
Cheese?
What is that? Is that
It's
the Chicago style?
I mean, we don't have to get Chicago style.
Yeah, can we get like thin
Yeah.
crust?
Yeah, sure.
We get both.
There you go. That's a lot of pizza. All right, anyway, sorry.
Greg, we're a lot of man.
All right. In no particular order. The first one I have on my list is a YouTube link, so we can't show it to you. This was from Wallace Spills. This is him and his brother acting out Killzone kills in their backyard in snowy environments.
And this is my favorite. Now, my personal favorite is this one. If only there were a lot of great submissions, as we said, but this one is just so instantly likable because it's sort of low production value in terms of them just out in the snow, but they're just beating the crap out of each
And
other.
one of them was wearing a Ryan Clement's mask.
And he's wearing a Ryan Clement's mask over like a helmet so he doesn't get hurt. But it's just the fact that they're filming these two brothers and the one brother comes up and slams the brother's head into a pole that cracked me up so much.
Yeah, it was very good. Very good.
So I appreciate the brother that was taking the beating.
Yeah, bravo.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's only one copy of the game in the box, so he's going to get it.
Oh, well, they're brothers. So it's fine.
They can
They have
share.
the co-op campaign that's local only.
Ooh, touche.
Okay, next up, Gibbs Raincock. No, I'm sorry, Rainock. I always want to say Raincock because it looks like a funny name. But it's just Rainock. Rainock.
Let me see this.
Gibbs
Rainock.
Raincock. Anyways, he sent in an awesome, basically like a cool-ass Grindhouse kind of poster where Clements is getting stabbed through the chest, me and Colin are down in the corner.
My heart's coming out, too.
I'm flying to PAX East as soon as this is done. I have no idea your timetable. Are you going to have time to embed these in the article?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, cool.
Well, maybe I'll make a blog just like I did last time, so it doesn't clutter up the.
Can you put something, one of them in there? But yeah, definitely link it out.
Maybe that one.
Okay, cool. So I don't want to spend time doing them. If you want to see these, go to IGN.com, find the Podcast Beyond episode 178 article. There'll be a link to Colin's blog in there. You can go find it that way.
It'll be fun.
Up next we have Greg Alexander. He did this 4-part comic strip here. Clements, he's an X-Bot. I vampire strike him, stab him in the eyes. The real thing that scored this one is the final frame here. It's these Killzone people, right? With our heads over them. You got Scott Lowe, you got Greg Miller, then you got Colin. Then over here on the side, you have some dude I didn't recognize. So I finally put it together. I Googled Anthony Gallegos. This is an image for Anthony Gallegos that comes up. Not Anthony Gallegos. Anthony, of course, reviewed Killzone 3 for us. That is not really. That's a pro skateboarder or rollerblader or something.
Well done, though.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Up next, Daniel Smith drew a cartoon here of a Helghast like me brutally killing Ryan Clements.
This one is
so
good.
He flipped the script, but it looks good. I like that. My next one is one of my personal favorites from this competition, John F. It's an anime style of what we had talked about before, The Undertaker punching through the Podcast Beyond brick wall, stabbing Clements in the neck, and then me and Colin freaking out about it with the Washington-Tacoma robot United States map behind us. However, now, Clements, you're a big anime fan. What's going on with Colin's eyes there?
I wouldn't have called it anime, to be totally honest.
Really?
I guess
Look
little
at the faces.
bit. Yeah.
Hey, well, and what the hell's happening to Colin's eyes?
Yeah, what is that?
So that's the most anime-ish thing in this picture because when a character is like so stunned or in shock, they do these like a series of dark lines over the eyes, like a cloud of despair is over them. Yes.
Okay.
All right, next winner here on the rundown is Max Drina's girlfriend. Max submitted this to get the prize, but his girlfriend actually went and made a sculpture of Ryan getting brutally killed by a Helghast.
That's my favorite one.
Ryan's wearing a Beyond shirt. It's amazing. Like that's a lot of time and
a lot of effort.
Max, you have a keeper there. Don't let her go. You went the full 9 yards in that one.
Very
amazing. Rounding out the pack, we have a couple other ones. Omar Majid, he put in a whole comic book, so I didn't print it out. He also incorporated The Undertaker punching through the wall. So basically, that's what I was looking for. If you wanted to get my vote, Undertaker punching through the wall. Brett Barry put in another YouTube video. His was a Lego stop-motion film of Clements getting killed. It was pretty good. And then another YouTube video. I'm going to screw this one up. The DS Danny. I didn't screw it up. The DS Danny. He's another YouTube video who won. I don't even remember what he did, though.
Oh.
Do you remember? I don't have a good note here for what he did. It was a YouTube video.
I bet he did something great.
I bet so, too. If you put it in there, you can find all these videos. That's how we started finding other people.
Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. I mean, those were it was hard. I mean, we deliberated. There were ones that we maybe would have won if there wasn't such a high caliber turnout for this particular contest. I'm very impressed.
If you were foolish enough not to include your address in the original email, send them back to us. If you're a listener thinking you're going to pull one over on us, don't bother. We have the original email still in a protected folder.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm going to get confused when I see
It's like encrypted, heavily encrypted.
Abraham Lincoln sends me something.
Whoa.
Saying he's Max's girlfriend. That's not going to fly.
Yeah, that's not
Don't
gonna
do that.
fly.
Abe Lincoln don't use the internet.
Yeah, I know. He's dead. Let's kick it off with
Abe
what
Lincoln
is
don't use
and
the
forever will
internet.
be the Roper Report. Time for some news. All right, Colin, this podcast room, we're going to have to work through some kinks. This chair is part of the kinks. Right now there's a chair here, ladies and gentlemen, a big cushy chair, and I like to kick it with my foot. I like to play with it. But then I kick it wildly, and it just rotates and blocks Colin the rest of the show.
Just move it over a little bit.
There
you go.
Number 1, firmware 3.6 is out. Not only does it add a much-wanted cloud-saving feature for PlayStation Plus users, but it also apparently resecures the system against hackers.
Yeah.
It also has a
Well.
controller sleep function in there.
How long will
Does it?
that?
I didn't know that.
How long will that re-secure last?
Probably
do you
now that they
think?
know it, they're going to go hack it.
10 minutes.
George, whatever his name is, right?
Tough business.
Number 2, Uncharted 3's villain has been revealed. She's an elderly British woman named Catherine Marlowe, and she's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wouldn't say elderly.
Yeah, she's
Middle-aged, maybe.
Middle-aged.
Maybe a little over
She's
middle-aged.
prob- silver-haired.
She's probably in her 60s, I would say.
Would you have classified that as elderly? You're not a senior citizen yet.
That's true. I'd say she's Sully's age, so maybe she's not elderly. She's an older.
An old, yes, a woman
In
of
her
a woman of fine
years.
taste.
A woman of fine taste. Yep.
Why do you like her so much?
I like when I saw the game at GDC, I was really blown away by how different that character is than the
other-
bad guys from
yeah.
the first.
I think she's a lot like Lazarevich.
You think so?
Yeah, she eats blue shit all the time.
Oh, okay. Lazarevich sucked. Lazarevich was like the total weak point of Uncharted 2. I like her just because she has like these 3 henchmen with her apparently, and they have like pictures on the PlayStation blog and on the site we have it too. That apparently just beat the shit out of people like for her. Like she just stands there and these guys just rough everyone up.
I love it. So for some reason, I don't know if it was ever since watching Snatch or whatever, but British gangsters they're just like my favorite thing to watch. When they walk into a room and they're like, now hold on a second, and they like punches the guy in the face. You know, he's like, all right, I think he's had enough. You know, it's so good. Yeah, that was my British accent.
It was good. Yeah. We have the trailer on the site, the same one I saw at GDC, and it's cool. She's just different. Like the Naughty Dog was telling us that she's gonna be much more psychological, taunting, and she pulls a dagger. She doesn't care. She pulls a dagger on Drake and like holds it up to his neck, like
Stole his ring.
Stole the ring, yeah. So the ring is gonna be worked back in.
Is it terrible that I forgot what the ring was all about?
It was an heirloom from Sir Francis Drake.
Okay.
That was like the first clue in Drake's fortune that was telling him where he needed to go.
Okay, got it.
Do you want to talk about Christopher Marlowe at all?
I don't really like. All I know about him is that someone wrote in the comments, and I think even tweeted me that. And I don't know if you know more details about it, but
I haven't followed up on it.
So, Sir Francis Drake was an explorer. Sir Francis Drake worked for Queen Elizabeth, and so they go way back, whatever. And so obviously Drake has a connection to Queen Elizabeth. But apparently Jonathan Marlowe was someone who told us also worked for Drake and Queen Elizabeth. So maybe this Marlowe is related.
I thought Christopher Marlowe.
Oh, Christopher. I'm sorry, Christopher Marlowe was related to. So maybe this Marlowe is related somehow. So then Drake and Marlowe both go way back to Queen Elizabeth and Sir Francis Drake. And someone else had an interesting comment, which I never even thought of, which was that maybe Sully and Catherine Marlowe had a little something back in the day. Maybe they know each other.
People like Alpha Crow, who wrote into Beyond at IGN.com. Hold on. That's right. I have 2 Uncharted 3 questions. Oh, shit, that is right. With Uncharted 3 having a ruthless female enemy associated with the secret cabal, how long do you guys think it'll be until we're introduced to the son of Sully, either abandoned or that he never knew he had? Could the son be introduced in Uncharted 3? Remember, Sully did take a hooker to church once.
Well, maybe Drake's his son with Catherine Marlowe.
Thank you. Are we overlooking that? No, we are not.
Really?
That would be awful.
I don't know. That sounds awful.
It would also be the prequel then to the movie they keep talking about, where Uncharted, the movie, is going to be all family oriented. Here it is. They're finally setting it all up.
And they go to Florida. They go to Disney World. In the movie.
Do you think this is that it's just like ancestors constantly fighting over their old people's shit? Drake's out for the Sir Francis thing. Well, no, I'm out for Christopher Marlowe. I'm Greg Miller. I don't know who. I don't. Dad calls me, needs $50. Say, fuck you, Dad. Get out of here. I don't owe you nothing. I don't know some goddamn boat riding Greg Miller ancestor or anything. I'm not gonna go
boat riding Greg Miller.
I'm not gonna go climb walls for him.
Can't wait until someone like this orb in time opens up and your ancestor comes out.
Get the hell out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. This is my show.
Before we get off the Uncharted 3 vibe here, Tanner Pierce writes into Beyond at IGN.com and says, now that the Uncharted 3 villain Catherine Marlowe has been announced Do you still think Chloe will return as maybe a secondary villain?
Yeah, I think she'll be in the game, but I don't know if she'll be a villain or maybe just have a cameo or something.
Didn't she decide to be a good guy at the end finally?
She decided to walk away and probably have sex with Sully.
I hate that character, by the way. I hated that character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was so attractive.
She was hot, but
Yeah.
I'm always pulling for Elena.
Hell yeah.
Well,
High five.
Alina's awesome.
All right.
It's a cool lady.
She's a
And
cool
and the
chick.
cameraman, what's the cameraman's name?
Jeff.
Jeff.
He's dead. You can't pull for him anymore.
That's true.
Spoilers, if you haven't played yet.
Jeff's dead.
You can't
Spoiler
pull
alert.
for him anymore. He's fucking dead.
I do love that Jeff Rubenstein, for the longest time, had Jeff as his PlayStation blog, or his PlayStation icon on.
That's awesome.
Number 3 is Grand Theft Auto 5 in development. If details revealed online are to be believed, it is. It's codenamed Rush, just like GTA 4 was codenamed Frozen, and apparently takes place in Los Santos, Rockstar's fictional version of Los Angeles. A casting list details characters such as weed evangelists, neurotic soccer moms, and Armenian car dealers.
Sounds like a Grand Theft Auto game to me. I can't wait. I love Grand Theft Auto games, man. I love them.
I could go for another one.
And now you don't have to do the guide.
Oh, my God.
Which I feel like will make you so
Oh,
much
it's
happier.
great. Oh, it's great. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4 took months of my life away.
Yeah.
Plus, especially with the DLC. That was just another
Yeah,
month or
it
so.
kept coming back.
Yeah.
Couldn't kill it.
Grand Theft Auto 4 was fucking awesome, though. I love that
I like
game.
that game. I had a great time with that game. No? Stuck out your tongue?
I have to go back and play it all the way through.
Did you ever beat it?
I never finished it.
Yeah. That
I
last
played it for several hours.
That last I've talked about all the time, but the last choice where you have to make your choice or whatever. I remember
driving back and forth?
stopping the car, turning around, driving. I couldn't decide which I wanted. According to EA CEO John Riccitiello, Mass Effect 2's digital release on the PlayStation Network was a success. Huzzah! EA admits that the ME2 overall on the PS3 did quite well, considering they quote did absolutely nothing to promote it. But in terms of digital sales, Riccitiello notes the PSN sales accounted for at least 10% of the game's overall sales.
Wow, I'm surprised it's not more.
Really?
It just, to me, 10% seems like such a small amount. And
No,
you'd
people
think
are
that,
so used to buying discs. They want
yeah, I
discs.
guess. I mean, I like having the disc too, but eventually I'm going to run out of space in my apartment.
Yeah, the game's 12 gigs, which I think would just, with PlayStation
a lot of
Network
PS3s,
download
yeah.
speeds would.
Yeah, it took me forever to download that game. Colin, you like buying games and you like buying new games, right? In boxes?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. There's just something about I don't like having now that I have a job and I'm not a kid anymore or whatever, where I have a little bit more money or whatever, like some more disposable income. I just like having the game new, and I like supporting developers that, like, when a Dragon Quest game comes out, I go buy it on DS because I want to tell them that I appreciate that they localize the game and stuff.
Well, you missed the obvious answer, but luckily Evan wrote into beyond.ign.com and he's got it for you. Hey, Greg, Colin, and Ryan.
Hi.
I just wanted to say to Colin that when I bought Pokemon Black today at GameStop, I know it's not a PS3, but still, I sniffed the manual
Yeah, you
when I
did.
opened the box.
Yeah, you did.
Ah, that fresh new game smell.
Yeah, you did. Of course you did, because
Love
Jim
that.
Riley and I are onto something with this, which is that game manuals smell amazing, and that's definitely a good reason not to buy a used game, because that someone else might have already sniffed that manual,
Yeah.
and either way the manual
You
smells.
don't want to do the double sniff.
You don't want to sniff some whore. Sloppy seconds. Number 5, DC Universe Online is primed for a digital release on the PlayStation Network, probably based on the Mass Effect 2 news. There's no firm date yet for the release. The game will cost $59.99 on its own with a free 30-day trial, same thing you get in stores. Monthly play will still cost $14.99 thereafter. You could buy 6 months for $77.99 or 12 months for $134.99.
It's a lot of money,
That thing is a hog too. That's another 14 gigs. That's going to take forever to download.
and you've given up on it.
It broke my heart. I didn't give up on it. It broke my heart, and
So you're in denial.
I have been on the wagon, as they say, for like 2 weeks. I haven't played DC Universe Online in 2 weeks.
Good for you.
But I will fall off the wagon one day and go back to it.
Will you?
I'm going to come back from PAX and hopefully have a copy of Homefront and play through that for a bit.
Hopefully you will have a copy of Homefront.
Well, if not, I can just... Hillary's been playing one. I can grab it.
Yeah, we have 2 copies. I have
I
one.
can
Hillary has
grab a
one. So
library one, yeah.
yeah.
It just amazes me, man, that you put so much time into that game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy it.
I know.
I'm so close to tier 2 armor. That's why it makes me very cranky that everything went to hell. But that's a story we've already recounted on Podcast Beyond.
Yes.
I do believe, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. In short, it fucked me over.
Yes.
Number 6, a new Ape Escape game is coming to PlayStation 3! There's little information yet on the game, though it's been designed specifically to play with the PlayStation Move. Huzzah. There will be 15 levels, 500 monkeys to capture, and plenty of different game modes. It'll be a PSN download.
Our game has 500 monkeys.
How many monkeys got in that game? 500.
500 monkeys.
500.
Fuck you think of that?
Hey, how many monkeys you got in that game?
Hey kid, how many monkeys you want in your
What do you
game?
want in a sandwich?
Number 7. It's a little late, but Infinity Ward has finally released a fix for the hacking that's plagued Modern Warfare 2 on PS3 since January.
It only took them 2 months. Good job,
The
guys.
patch should be available to you in the next time you boot up the game.
Bravo.
Yay!
Everyone's shit's already deleted, but way to be to get those that fix up real quick.
Your final entry on the Colin Moriarty sponsored Roper Report. Deus Ex. Also, it's often mispronounced as Deus Ex. Human Revolution finally has a release date. Look for it to come out on August 26th. You know,
August
from
can't
the
come
14
soon
press releases they sent out about that. I didn't know when it was coming out. Oh, wait, that's right. They sent out 14 press releases.
Yeah. Well, there was a mistake in one of them, and so they had to send out a new one.
They said, we've noticed you're all calling it Deus Ex. It's really
That
Deus
was
Ex.
not the correction that they offered.
When Deus Ex came out on Xbox, the original one, I bought it, and I thought it was Deus Ex. Until someone, I don't know, I was like a freshman in college maybe. Someone's like, it's Deus.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Me and my friends in college bought it.
Did you go
PS2
into the
version.
store?
No, I think I got it at like Best Buy or whatever. Actually, I think I was like one of those times where I like trudged through the snow in Boston to go buy a game at Best Buy. I did that with like Rainbow Six 3 and a bunch of other games, and so I didn't have to say anything.
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Same thing in college. We played it, and everybody called it Deus Ex. Nobody knew the difference. And then I held that belief until I started working here. And people were talking about Deus Ex. Like, what the fuck is it? Deus Ex? They're making it into Deus Ex?
It's hard, man, because like you just like people always make fun of me, but I will and always will say Ninja Gaiden. You know, like
Mario.
forever, and Mario. Yeah, it's like
It's the same thing I always ran into reading comics, right? Is that they make up names. And you read them, and in your head, you don't talk to anybody about these games ever because you're reading about them or talking online. And then, yes, I guess maybe podcasts help break down that wall now, but back in my day, that wasn't there.
yeah. Back in the schoolyard, we were calling it Mario, and we were calling it Ninja Gaiden. It's always going to be that to me. So
Interesting
adorable.
thing about you, Colin Moriarty.
Yeah.
Dedicated hard worker. You're killing it here on IGN Editorial.
Hell yeah.
You completely fucked up the Roper Report.
Did I?
And you missed one of the biggest stories of all time. Kung Fu Live has finally gotten its price drop. Now, eagle-eared listeners, remember that we predicted when Kung Fu Live would finally get a price drop on an episode of Podcast Beyond. I want to tell you, you kids are doing a great job out there. Because I tweeted this, and in less than 15 seconds, had like 17 responses to the episode and the minute mark of responses on the episode. Excellent.
I love our fans.
So great, yeah. Of course, follow us on Twitter, Game Over Greggy, for stuff like this. No taxation, Pwomp Cider. We'll give those out again slower at the end of the show. But on episode 165, December 9th, we said, Price is Right rules, closest without going over. When's this game getting a price drop? Colin guessed December 21st, which was like a week and a half after the game had been released.
game's doo-doo. What do you want?
Ryan and Scott Lowe guessed January 4th, and then Greg guessed January 11th. Those were the guesses. It finally broke down here in March. So I win, close without going over. I bet the $1. Thank you, Devin Sneven, super fan, for writing that one.
Do we give you $1 now?
No. That's not how. It was just that was Price is
Oh,
Right.
got it.
Did I say Devin's name wrong? Devin Sneven, right?
I don't know.
Sneven.
Sneethan?
I don't know.
Sneeden?
It's Devin.
Sneaton.
GameScoop super fan. He comes in all the time. He's been on the show already. Shut up.
Oh, Devin. Yeah.
Devin.
I just don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Now
I
it's
can't
one of
even
those-
envision it.
It's. I think it's Sneven. There might be a Sneven. No, it's Sneven. Devin Sneven. I know all about this kid.
Devin.
Airline
wait.
stewardess, right? No, what do they call him now?
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant.
attendant,
He's
sorry.
not a stewardess.
I
Did
can't-
Devin come in with his girlfriend, or was he?
Yeah, Lisa.
He was on
Okay.
Beyond?
No, he was. No. He was on GameScoop.
Oh, okay. Who was the guy that was just on Beyond randomly? That like
Mike Mitchell.
No, not Mike Mitchell. Oh, Mike Mitchell that was supposed to come over for dinner last week with
Yeah.
you, but then you got sick.
Greg Miller gets sick. Mike Mitchell can't go out without me.
No, he won't. He won't do it.
Can't come hang out with Colin Moriarty on his own.
He won't do it.
You're so intimidating.
He won't do it. Oh, we've watched many football games together. He's gonna come over this weekend for dinner. I think.
Sure he is. He's gonna find out I won't be there. He won't come. Colin, if I didn't go to PAX East right now,
Yes.
and I wanted to go to the store and buy some games, where could I go to find out what's in the stores?
You go to the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
Bring it to him, Colin.
That was creepy.
That was supposed to be like badass, but apparently not.
So on PS2,
Yeah.
MLB The
Whoa,
Show.
shit.
11 is coming out.
I bet you're all happy you kept the backwards compatible
I know.
PS3s now, aren't
Buy
you?
that shit.
I am. I still have tons of PS2
Shut
games.
up.
I am going to stab
Shut up.
you with a highlighter.
Now, I don't have it in this week's Beyond, but I did read the email from a fan telling me I need to lay off railing on backwards compatibility. So I will. If you want your backwards compatibility, I want you to have it. I just don't see the purpose because I'm Greg Miller, always moving forward.
Oh.
So then you admit that you should never look back to DCU then. You should just move forward.
Sure, I admit that.
All right.
But wait a second. DCU's always getting new content. Bum 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 bum.
Greg is doing some sort of dance.
You guys are scaring the shit out
The
of me.
world is broken. Candy Cane's brain.
New DLC, Candy Rain. Superman is just getting pelted.
Great Scott! These candy canes are magic.
They're made of kryptonite.
Kryptonite candy canes.
I almost made Greg
my
spit out
goodness.
his water.
And that's it. That's all that came out this week.
Oh.
No way, really?
Do we get to do the PS2
One
this year?
PS2 game?
No, there's more.
Oh, okay.
PSP got MLB 2K11, MLB 11 The Show, Phantom Brave, Bermuda Triangle,
Nice.
Not Bermuda.
and maybe, but I'm not sure, Disgaea Afternoon of Darkness. I don't know if that's actually
I'm going to
true or
say no. That is
Okay.
not correct.
So I'm just lying about that.
No, I think you're going off of what GameStop said.
Yeah, but I'm also lying about it.
Okay.
On PS3, we have MLB 11 The Show, MLB 2K11, U-Star 2,
Yeah.
Dragon Age 2, and
Bring it up.
and Rango.
Cool.
And that's all she wrote.
What do we got in the digital sense? You like that?
No, I
Yeah.
keep-
You start too, baby.
That's good, but I'm still cracking up about picturing Superman.
He's all just flying comfortably. And no. Right.
There's just too many candy canes.
Save me, Jimmy.
Okay, so on the PlayStation Network this week, as I think Colin mentioned earlier, who mentioned the Mortal Kombat demo already?
No one.
Yes? No? Oh, all right.
Reading that part.
New to the podcast. Exclusive to PlayStation Plus subscribers. You can get a Mortal Kombat demo. Now, this is the game that I am very tentatively looking forward to because for some reason, I haven't played a Mortal Kombat in about 417 years.
Wow.
And I'm in the mood for Mortal Kombat. And it looks like they're going to go back to the basics. They're going to take out all those dumb DC characters.
No.
I'm just kidding. They're
That's
not
true.
dumb.
That
So it's going to be really stiff and boring.
No.
that game looks fun as hell.
It
dude.
looks
Every
fun.
Time
You're
I
gonna have
play
a
that
good
game,
time.
It looks like a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, I suck at it.
Yeah,
I'll
well-
tell you right now, GDC, we didn't talk about this in the show. Sid Schumann from the PlayStation blog beat me unmercifully. We went to this demo, and Ed Boon's there, and I'm waiting to interview him and stuff. I'm like, oh, sure, I'll play it. So I jumped down next to Sid, and I'm playing. And Sid is a maniac at fighting games in general. And he's just like, at first she's trying, and he's just destroying me. And finally he realizes I'm awful, and I haven't played Mortal Kombat since 2. So he backs off and lets me get a few hits in, and he just clobbers me. He's pulling fatalities. He's X-ray breaking my spine.
Oh, my goodness. Terrible. Sid, why would you do
No,
that
he's a
to
good
Greg?
man. He did a good job.
Also, big news, Core, episode 34 is now available. All right.
Friend of the show, Veronica Belmont.
Yes, well, that's true. I mean, Veronica does a good job, but I haven't seen Core in a long time. Downloadable games. Test Yourself Psychology
I downloaded that game.
How's it
for
treating you?
$2.99. You downloaded it?
$2.99.
Yeah, because I'm going to see if
the trophy?
I'm going to see if I got some trophies. I'm sure that I didn't look at the list. I think you just have to do all the tests and get the trophies. I think it's, but yeah, I was talking to Damon and I was like, do you want to review this game? And we're trying to do some like unique types of reviews, like when Christine and I reviewed Spare Parts together. So I was like, my girlfriend is currently 2 years into her PhD program in forensic psychology. So what if we played the game together and she can tell me, especially because she likes to do testing and stuff like that, to see how accurate it is. So we played it a little bit together, and it's, I don't want to say it's pretty accurate, but like a lot of the things are like the tests that I've taken for her when she was like working on how to do them. So we should review the game probably next week.
All right, very nice.
That's all that's up this week.
Greg, I have a fun game that you and I are going to play now.
Lay it down.
Are you ready?
Yep.
I want you to say Disney's, and then I am going to respond with, I'm going to complete the title, and then you just keep saying Disney's until I do this. All right?
Disney's.
Hercules.
Disney.
Peter Pan.
Disney.
Lilo and Stitch.
Disney.
Toy Story Racer.
Disney.
Monsters, Inc. Scream Team.
Disney.
Toy Story 2.
Disney.
The Emperor's New Groove.
Disney.
A Bug's Life.
Disney.
Oh, damn it.
Those are all available now on the PlayStation Network. All PS1 classics.
Disney's.
Ridge Racer.
Disney's Ridge Racer.
R4 Ridge Racer Type 4 is also available. Those are all PS1 classics. And then there's a bunch of add-on content. I didn't see any important add-on content. There is some Dragon Age 2 stuff. That's
Yeah,
cool.
that deal's
And
fine.
Hyper Neptunia.
And there's a chef hat for Hyperdimension Neptunia, so that's a big deal.
Sweet.
Some
Get.
Little Big Planet 2 content. And then if we mosey on over to the PlayStation Portable section, We have Phantom Brave, as you said. The Bermuda Triangle is also available digitally, and MLB 11 the show.
Awesome.
You've missed something so critical that I'm about to jump through this window.
We have a window now, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy jeez.
And just end it all.
What is it?
Mega Man 3 is on the PlayStation Network this week.
It didn't say. Where does it say that?
As a PS import.
Where does it say that? Tell me. You show me in this giant packet.
I don't know.
I would have found it. Go ahead.
I'm not saying you're lying. But
Pick of the week. Well,
Mega Man 3 is definitely the pick of the week.
Is it all in Japanese again?
Yeah.
Is it another one of these games I can't fucking read?
Yes.
No, that's not pick of
No,
the week.
it's a port of the Mega Man 3 on the PS1 that was re-released there. I mean, you can play it. There's no text in the game, but if you want to navigate the menus and stuff, you're gonna
Yeah.
be
If
shit
I
out
want
of
to
luck.
understand what the hell's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's, I believe, according to Colin Moriarty, it is the best game of all time.
No doubt about it.
Okay.
It's on the front page. It says it's discounted, but I don't know where it's in the.
Oh yeah, I didn't look.
No big deal. Pick of the week. Dragon Age 2. 8.5. You don't like that one? That's not a good pick.
Dude, I'd give Mega Man 3 a 10, so I'm gonna say.
Batshit crazy. This kid. God
Wait, what
damn,
else? What else
son.
came?
The show. Got an 8 from Hillary.
Yeah, all right. Dragon Age 2 is fun.
Yeah, so I guess I've been really out of the loop.
Huh?
You guys tell me why Dragon Age 2 is so much better than the first one?
I'm not gonna tell you that. I have no idea.
They fixed combat. Well, I read the review.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a hater.
I'm not a hater
I don't
either. I
drink
just
my
haven't.
haterade.
I haven't had.
Hate
You're
is
like,
gonna
whatever.
hate.
Mega Man's out. I'm done.
That's what happened during the Trophy
combat.
War.
They brought in the more like Mass Effect style wheel for conversations. It looks better. That's the main thing.
Cool.
That's the main stuff. It's
Very
an
cool.
improved version.
Do
of
you
Origins.
need to play the first one? Is it a direct sequel?
It's running concurrently, I believe, at some points. Don't quote me on that, but I think
Okay.
that's because it's all told like it's a frame narrative, like Princess Bride, where like this guy's telling the story and things are happening. So there's a lot of jokes at that expense too. Like when the guy's, you don't know that that's happening, right? It's like at certain points you forget that. Simon was saying. So like this guy's telling a story and like when he's telling it, this girl's got gigantic breasts or whatever, and then the lady listening to the story stops him, and they go back, and then the girl breasts are normal size. And this
No
is
way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So there's like
interesting.
jokes like that. It's got a good sense of humor to it.
Oh, okay.
Of course, we posted that review. Everybody was just like, perfect. 8.5, can't wait. Great. Oh, wait, that's not what happened at all. It's time for everyone's favorite comment corner. Dragon Age 2. This was submitted to us off the Facebook wall. This one comes from Miguel. Miguel wrote, "Seriously, you had to spoil me the ending, you motherfucking piece of shit? I am never reading your reviews again, you stupid fuck-faced douchebag. Fuck you, IGN, and fuck you, guy that wrote the review, you giant fucking asshole."
Wasn't it a girl?
Yeah, Christine wrote
Yeah. All right. Well,
that.
that's
There you go,
interesting.
Miguel.
Thanks, Miguel.
Thanks for the
I'm
positive feedback.
Yes, very good.
I don't think the review ruined the ending in any
No,
way.
it probably didn't. A lot of people that complain don't read.
Yeah,
So,
that happens.
hey, I want to say something real quick. We didn't get a chance to visit this because we were at GDC or whatever.
Yeah, please lay it on me.
Last week, Sonic the Hedgehog came out on PlayStation Network, and it's free for PlayStation Plus
The
subscribers.
first episode?
No,
or-
like the
first
original
game
Genesis game.
Oh, really?
For PlayStation Plus only, it's available
Got
in a
new
few weeks for
trophies.
everyone else. That game sucks, bro. Like, I really want to sit down and talk about. I really want to sit down and have a rational conversation for just a
Alright.
minute about Sonic.
All right.
Because I tweeted about it, and some people were like, "Yeah, man, that game sucks." Some people are like, "You're crazy." You
Well,
know?
it's the Sega fanboys like me.
I didn't know that
It's
fucking Sylvester Stallone
he's
was
like,
on the thread.
So,
Fuck the world.
I downloaded the game. I'm like, you know what, man? All right. So I was a Super Nintendo kid, clearly the superior system, but I'm gonna give this game a chance again for like the 17th time in my life. I'm like, maybe I'm just missing something. People really like this game and they really like this character. I sit down, I play it for I don't know, half an hour, and the game just sucks. It just sucks. It's
So
stiff.
why?
It's boring. You know, because the game is all about speed, and really what it's all about, like a lot of old games, is memorization. But you're like just running, and then you just there's like different rules for different enemies. Some enemies you can kind of jump on and kill, but then like I jump on a hornet and all my rings fly out. I'm like, all right, so that doesn't really make any sense. And then you know, so, like, just little things like, and when you're like standing still because the game's all about speed, it's just clunky. It's just clunky. The game. What I always say is, like, you know, it's contemporary Super Mario World. Super Mario World makes Sonic look like shit. It just makes it look like
Agreed, yeah.
absolute trash. And I just don't understand why people still go back and are like, this game's great. This game sucks.
It's totally rose-colored glasses. I was a Sega kid. I had Sega consoles my whole life. We finally had a mascot. It was bright and colorful. It had rings and shit. We were like, this is radical. Look at the bunnies coming out of this Eggman thing I just ruined. Like, it was fun. It was good. You enjoyed it. But yeah, I've gone back and played, and it was like, man, this is like, yeah, it's
rough,
especially
man.
when you get stopped, and you have to get going from a dead start. It's like, this is really slow.
It's just like, because I go back and I play Super Mario World every so often. Super Mario World's just as brilliant as the day it came out. And I just don't. I want people to write into beyond@IGN.com if they're big Sonic fans and Sega advocates, or maybe if they agree with me. I want to know what people like or don't like about those games. I really want people to really break it down.
The music.
The music's cool, and I like the aesthetics. The aesthetics cool, and the characters are cool. I think Sonic's a cool character,
So
but
cute,
gameplay is core. And it's totally lacking in that game, man. That's by far the last time I'm giving that game a chance over the years.
What about Episode 2 when it comes out?
Sonic 2, you're saying?
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. No, Sonic the Hedgehog Episode 2.
Like the remake.
Yeah.
I didn't even buy the first one. I'm not buying that stuff. Not for $15.
Yeah, that's expensive.
The hell out of here.
Oh, do you want a code?
Do you have a code?
I can get you a code.
Sure.
Easily.
I mean, yeah. I'm definitely not buying a game.
Go ahead.
For $15.
I want to hear your impressions on that.
Okay.
I want to hear your impressions next week.
Can you remind me when we get downstairs? And I'll
yeah, sure. That'd be great. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I forget, I'm not rushing through the podcast, but I got to fly to PAX East here in a little bit.
No, I mean, if you need to leave, Colin, I can do it.
That's what I'm doing. Well,
Okay.
that's what I'm doing. PAX East is this weekend out in Boston. If you should be coming, if you're not, you're crazy. If you want to hang out with us, we have a few opportunities to do that. You can find it all at tinyurl.com/IGN at PAX East. But the big news is that Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m., we're doing a meet and greet at Barlow's. It's all ages. There's free food, free booze, too. There'll be free Coke if you want some. Wait, hold on. Coca-Cola. Free Coca-Cola if you want to come. If you're an age. And then Sunday.
Free booze, free Coke. Come on.
Fun Day Sunday is the live Game Scoop panel at 3:30 there at PAX East, where I will be joining Damon Hatfield and Ty Root to give away a whole bunch of stuff, debut a new Game Scoop 2.
Hell yeah.
Have some fun.
Ty Root's going to be there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sunday Fun Day is what it's
going to
called?
pop off.
I call it Sunday Fun Day.
That was an NES game.
Was it?
It was an unofficial, religious game.
Oh.
Is it Fun Day Monday?
No. Monday sucks.
Topic of the
Except
week
when
time.
it's fun.
Oh, wait, real quick. Before, when you go to Boston, go to Northeastern University. Say hello.
I'm not going to do that.
Please.
I will look around. How close is it?
It's
The Boston Convention Center.
not very.
No, I'm not doing that. Then.
It's by Prudential
I'm
Center.
going to try to buy an iPad 2. Is it by the iPad 2 store?
There's an Apple store in Prudential
The
Center. Right?
iPad 2 store.
Anyways, topic of the week. Ryan Clements. It's all about you. We didn't tell you ahead of time.
Oh, no.
You posted an article last night that I found very intriguing.
Ooh.
Last Guardians, Girl Trouble.
I was about to say the Whack Fu preview on the PC channel.
Did you post that too?
Yes, I did.
Is it related to Shaq Fu?
No, not at all.
That's too bad.
Sucks, yeah.
But yes, Last Guardians.
Give me the rundown. Nutshell.
The
For
nutshell
listeners
is
joining us.
TGS last year. Fumito Ueda. I think I got it right. I'm sorry, I'm so rude. Anyway,
I
Ueda-san.
think it's Fujimo.
It's not Fujimo. It's Fumito. Fumito Ueda is the director of Last Guardian and also created Shadows of the Colossus and Eco. Okay?
Yeah.
He says during a presentation, someone asked, "Why are all your characters male in the games?" And he was answering and stuff. But ultimately, he kind of arrived to the conclusion, a girl would be wearing a skirt, and that would, if you were in control of the camera, you could accidentally get inappropriate exposing of the character, and that's the reason.
That never happens in Japanese games.
Anyway, that immediately didn't sit right with any of us, and I was like, why would a girl need to wear a skirt? She could easily wear pants.
Yeah.
And so, I was bothered by it. It bugged me. And then a couple months ago, I had the chance to go to Japan and see an actual live gameplay demonstration of The Last Guardian, and also get to interview Ueda. And I was like, perfect. This is a chance for me to clarify. Maybe there was a joke that I didn't understand. Maybe there was a mistranslation. I'm going to sit him down in the interview, and I'll do that. And I sat him down in the interview, asked a bunch of normal questions first, and then genuinely, just to figure things out, I asked him about this comment that he made and if he could clarify it, and he reiterated that, oh, yes, of course, well, a girl would be wearing a skirt, and that would be inappropriate. And then I was like, well, and he said, and also girls are not strong enough to climb around those sorts of environments. It wouldn't make sense. And then I said, well, surely a girl could. It's possible that a girl can climb around like a boy, even if it is statistically more likely that a boy of that age would be stronger than a girl. This is fiction. It doesn't matter. Statistics don't play into it. And also, a costume design change could easily address the issue of a skirt, as in just don't put a skirt on the character. Mm. Then he just comes back to me with more reasonings that I also don't like. How if the character was far away, a girly look like long hair and a skirt wouldn't be visible. And then he could tell that I was, still confused, still a little troubled. And he
Really
asked
like
me,
this article, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a great progression of how you originally got jarred by it, and then this conversation actually is really well told by you.
Well, thank you very much. But essentially, this was not. I want to clarify that, of course, this was not me attacking Ueda, because not only were we speaking through translation, but we're speaking through a cultural gap. But it was me being very upset by the reasoning behind what he was saying. And that was really what all the article was about, was just how upset I was by
I
this
thought it was a great
conversation.
article, and I thought you presented your point extremely well. And that's why I didn't understand the flack you were getting in the comments. And one of our, Richard Keeling here wrote in, he was perturbed by it. He says, this is what really bothered me. You claimed his argument did, and I quote, border on sexism. Sorry, Ryan, but not really. Though it is certainly not impossible for a girl to do any of those things at that age, it is plain science that men tend to have more muscle than women. While climbing might be easier for a girl that age considering muscle body size differential, melee combat would be indefinitely more plausible for a boy. So do you still think that sexism is blah blah blah?
I can address that on a couple notes.
Go ahead.
First of all, as I just said, I understand that there's men and women are different, and that's absolutely fine. That's not at all the problem. The problem is that in a fictional world, he automatically assumed that a girl wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
But more problematic is the first response was she would be wearing a skirt, which is where the real issue arises.
Yeah, it's strange. I would have preferred an answer. I would have respected an answer from him more. It just being honest and saying, like, I don't want to deal with a female character.
Yeah, and that's totally
You
fine.
put that in there. If you would have said my vision was a boy, done.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no. It doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah, because those are
You're
matters
advocating
why.
more women in games.
Yeah.
That's not your point.
That's not my point at all.
I totally am with you on everything you said, because I that's what I got out of it. You know what I mean? Totally, he's a creator. He's allowed to do what he wants.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the fact that, yes, his reasoning, well, of course it's a boy, because the girl would be in a skirt and not be physically able to hold on to a mythical creature. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
what?
it's bizarre. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it sounds like just a cop out. You know.
And then I love that you retweeted the one dude that said, and obviously girls aren't able to do young girls aren't able to do acrobatic moves. Just try and find a young girl gymnast.
You can't.
You
That was how
can't.
he ended it. It's Craig Herman from University of Missouri.
Yeah, that's a great quote. But yeah, that was another one of his reasonings, was that he didn't think that a young girl could make acrobatic movements, which to me doesn't make any sense
No,
at
the
all.
whole thing doesn't make any sense.
Because if anything, while yes, men are, I guess, statistically more likely to have more muscle mass and to be stronger, I think statistically women are more likely to have flexibility. I think.
Yeah, sure.
For sure, dude.
Right? I mean, that's why so many girls are, interested in training gymnastics.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, is that I can understand, I guess, in a real cursory way, how people would be upset. It's like, oh, this is a great game developer. It's made some of the best games. Let's just let him do his thing. If he has some short, shite explanation for it, then just let it go. But, like, everything he said is a cop-out of like, the premise of the fact that, like, he really just wants to deal with male characters. I mean, that's clear, and that's, like, an okay thing, you know?
Yeah.
That's totally fine, and it wouldn't even be a non-story, but, like, it's a little strange to just make these bizarre excuses that he, like, the more he said, it's like just digging yourself in a hole.
Yeah.
It's just like, they're gonna wear skirts. Well, no, well, they're not able to climb. Well, it's like, well, dude, there's a big fucking cat on the screen, dude. Like, if you have this big cat creature, then I'm pretty sure you can just make the female character able to do those things. It's really not that far-fetched. Not any more far-fetched than the cat that's following you around everywhere.
It's interesting. I mean, you touch on just it being a cultural divide in there, right?
Yeah.
As far as how Japan views women.
There is a huge difference between Japan's gender and gender roles and just their perception of sex and stuff, and then how we have those things here. And of course, I'm not qualified to speak volumes about.
You're not a doctor.
Yeah, I'm not about like gender roles and psychology in Japan and like how society operates. I sort of just have a very, I guess what's the word? Just it's a limited understanding, but it's enough for me to say that I mean there's probably cultural influence at work here, and I'm not trying to attack Ueda. He was very nice to me. He's very courteous to everyone around him. I'm not saying he's a bad person. But this is definitely, I think, a troubling issue that we should be talking about. Just talking about it doesn't mean that we have to raise torches or anything.
Yeah, there's little divides like that, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
reviewing Yakuza, and there's a part in the beginning when you're this loan shark guy, and you have an assistant who's female, and she's a bit overweight or whatever, and you have this conversation, and up until now you've been this totally nice guy, and you are a totally nice guy throughout the game, right? You're actually loaning people money without interest, which they get into later, but as far as the preview coverage, I won't go into. But you're talking to this girl, and basically she's like, there's these thugs downstairs or whatever. And she's like, I don't want to go out there alone. And he basically is like, whatever, you're too ugly to be. They won't have any interest in you. They're not going to try to rape you or attack you. And she just accepts that answer. Like, that's just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, there's no, like... That would be that if you said that in an Americanized game, you'd be that character is a douchebag, asshole, cigar chomping jerk, like stereotypical, right?
Right.
But this guy's totally cool. He's just like, oh no, don't worry about it. It's gonna be cool.
It's and I mean, do you mind if I tell the anecdote that I gave in the article? One of the examples that I was trying to describe as to how this could be a cultural issue is that one of our colleagues, who I will not name, his wife was born and raised in Japan. She's Japanese. And she actually she would prefer not to work in Japan because even though she's well educated, she has a master's degree, she's successful in marketing, she has all these great qualifications, seems like a fantastic woman, would be expected to pour tea at business meetings because she's a woman. And my argument was, if she volunteered or wanted to, or she was like, oh yeah, here, let me get that, and does that, that's great, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with people doing things for each other.
Yeah.
But the expectation based on sex is where the problem happens, and that was the main point of my article. Expectations are where we get into very dangerous territory. So
interesting read. You should check it out on ps3.ign.com. It's up.
Thank you
on
for
the site
saying
right now.
such nice things.
No problem. I really enjoyed it. I like that we're doing more, interesting stuff like that. Real quick, then we'll table this issue and move on to reader mail. The colleague that you didn't want to name, was it Dana Junglewood?
It was not Dana. Dana is not married to a Japanese woman.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. The red hair. It threw me.
Yeah. Totally.
Reader mail!
Mail call.
Give me a maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
There we go.
Sounded like you just got punched in the gut with that one. Maelstrom.
I'm going to start with my favorite email of the week, all right? This comes from Alexander. I'm coming out of the closet. I'm gay. Sorry, ladies. Alexander then follows up. That wasn't me. My email address was hacked. Sorry for the disturbance.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I just like, Alexander's friends at college get on his account and emails his entire address book, and one of the addresses is beyond@ign.com.
Oh my God, that's
Remember,
awesome.
if you want to be a part of the show or have stuff like that sent to us, beyond@ign.com.
That's all you need
That's
to
what
do.
you're looking for. There you go. You can be on the show. You're part of it. We all have fun. Last week, Colin.
Yes.
You described resistance controls as floaty.
Yeah.
I told you that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, you were like, no, it isn't. Me and Ryan tried to talk you down. You didn't. Phil writes in. He says, floaty definitely means bad. Tight controls don't have to be heavy. Floaty means you don't have immediate control over the character.
This is an undefined word, I think, in a way. Because
we're defining it based on like past definitions of how we've used this word when talking about games.
Yeah, right. We're giving it its
a lot of the way we speak in the video game industry has sort of been defined by our own industry and has no external rules.
context.
Set.
Yeah,
context.
I mean, I guess I'll have to rethink that word and how I use it, because I think floaty controls can be tight. I mean, I guess it's just the way you're using it.
I think I see where you're coming from, because what you're saying is there's no control, there's no input lag to something, as in you make an input and there's no time, there's no separation between your input and the character's action, but that the action itself is floaty. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess I was just kind of putting it because I just beat Killzone 3 right before I played Resistance 3, and just the movement on the sticks, it doesn't require as much movement to make your guys snap. To me, and you just kind of feel like you're moving very quickly and very fluidly.
Killzone or in Resistance?
In Resistance.
Oh, okay.
You feel like you're moving very fluidly. Killzone is a very heavy game to me. Not as much as Killzone 2, but still heavy. So yeah, I'll have to rethink the way I describe it.
All right, well, here's your chance. Okay. Jonathan writes in. He says, Colin, you have to help me here. Please assure me that Resistance 3 multiplayer is as epic as Resistance 2, even with 16 players instead of 60.
I mean, all right, so I have a lot of experience with Fallout 2 on Fallout 2 with Resistance 2 on
I've played this Fallout 2 before.
on PS3, and I played it online quite a bit. And I honestly wasn't blown away at all by online Resistance 3. There's too many people and too much shit going on.
Resistance 2.
Resistance 2. Sorry. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I'm really lost right now.
All right, I'm gonna start again.
All right, here we go.
I have a lot of
Floaty.
experience with it. I have a lot of experience with Resistance 2 on PS3 online. I was never blown away by it. I used to play it just for trophies. And I immediately was struck, and I think Clements and Greg can certainly back me up since they both played it. This looks sharper. It just looks more fun. It's more fast-paced, it's really more grueling. And I think that some people in the comments on my preview were saying it's just a cop-out. They don't want to support 32 or 64 players anymore, or whatever they used to support. But I think it's really cool, that prison in Chad with 16 players. It's not too crowded, so you can actually sneak around a little bit. But you're never going too long without running into someone. So I think that Resistance 3's online play is going to be awesome. Based on what we saw, I think it's going to be really much better than Resistance 2.
That was a highlight of the show for me, is the three of us sitting in the PlayStation Lounge and playing Resistance 3 multiplayer for the first time. I thought it was great. I was instantly like, oh, I want to play more of this. And then Greg just kicked me off the controller.
I was like, you've had enough.
Then Brutal killed me.
And don't even get me started on the single player, man. Oh my god, the single player is awesome. It was awesome.
It looks very cool.
Yeah.
It was so it was.
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game.
No idea what the hell's going on. I'm looking forward to it.
It's so cool, man. I'm so excited about that game. I really am.
Zach writes in with a question similar about the Resistance 3s, but about exclusives in general.
Okay.
So my question is in regard to the amount of PS3 games, exclusives, and multi-platform, he says. Would Sony receive more of a profit if they focused on quality instead of quantity? Don't get me wrong, even with the amount of games coming out this year, quality doesn't seem to be an issue. But if, let's say, they put extra polish into Killzone 3 single player and added more features to multiplayer, or even spent more time on SOCOM 4, etc., etc. Zach, I think you suffer from something a lot of people do who don't live our jobs or whatever, or troll message boards all the time. Sony is just publishing games, right? It would be similar to if I owned Beyond Newspaper and I had editors, Colin and Ryan, and I gave them each an individual article to work on. Just because there's a lot happening in Colin's day, it doesn't mean it's affecting Ryan at all. You know what I mean? These are different developers working on games. So the people working on SOCOM 4, if for some reason they weren't working on SOCOM 4, their resources wouldn't be moved to Killzone 3.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you have to understand, so SOCOM 4 is developed by Zipper. They developed MAG. So they're working on SOCOM. That's what they're working on. Naughty Dog is working on Uncharted 3. Insomniac is working on Resistance 3. Guerrilla just got done with Killzone.
Killzone 3.
So all these different developers are working on things. So like Greg said, Sony is the conduit by which they release the game.
Sony's working on its tan down by the beach, doing nothing, collecting fat checks. Bastards. Jeff Rubenstein and his wife living the high life off of Zipper's hard work. This one comes from Eric. I just read about the new PS3 Cloud Save feature for PlayStation Plus members, courtesy of the great newshound Jim Riley. My question is, why hasn't Sony been making a bigger deal out of this feature, especially when considering how much Microsoft has been pushing their To the Cloud campaign for Windows? I would say right now it's because, if you notice, PS Plus is usually stuff like betas and early access and yada yada. I think they're trying it out. This is their whole, let's give somebody early incentive to see what's up and try it out and yada yada yada. One day down the line, maybe it'll be available. Kind of like the PlayStation Rewards program, right? That was open to limited people in the beginning to work out kinks, see how it works. How do people like this? How does it respond? That's all. Just guessing.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Did anything happen to that? The PlayStation Rewards program?
It's supposed to go live sometime this spring.
Okay.
In real, I'm still in it.
I haven't gotten anything about it yet. I don't check that email address, to be honest. But because I'm gonna write a piece today about the cloud saves. I was really excited. It's funny, I have an Ethernet cable in my room, and my girlfriend always takes it out of my PlayStation when I'm not using it to put it in her computer. So I was playing Homefront, and then I put the cable back in, and I got a thing. It was like, you have to download this firmware update. I'm like, yes. So I downloaded it or whatever. And then I go to my phone and I go to text Greg, finding that Greg had already texted me, telling me that the cloud save was up 20 minutes before. Yeah. That's how dorky we are. So,
hey, maybe you guys should include me on these little conversations.
You haven't signed into PlayStation Network in 3.5 weeks.
Next time there's a firmware update for StarCraft, I'll make sure I do it.
You mean a patch? Because that's what.
I don't know. I don't understand the PCs.
That's okay. I don't either.
So anyway, I just want to say that I was really impressed with the speed by which you can and the ease by which you can put things into the cloud, which is really cool. Even big saves. My biggest save was maybe Pac-Man, which was 5 megabytes, which is real quick. 5 megabytes on PlayStation Network when you're downloading something like that psychology thing was only 33 megabytes. It took
it takes forever
5 minutes, which is insane. So I think it's a cool feature. And what I noticed the most is that the PlayStation Plus hatred is getting less and less and less and less. Greg and I, of course, were advocates from the very beginning, but it's a great deal, and this is even better. And I noticed a lot of the comments in Jim's story were saying well, this is what I needed to get on board
For those like myself that don't have PlayStation Plus, this cloud save system, how does it actually work? How does the interface work when you're on your screen?
It's really easy. So you go to your game save data folder, and you just hit triangle over it, and to like transfer as if you were transferring something, copying something to a USB drive.
Right.
But it'll have like a folder that says like cloud save or something like that.
And
it has the PlayStation Plus logo
on it. Yeah.
And so you just transfer to that as if you were transferring it to a USB drive, and it just happens, and it's automatic. Now, the cool thing about this, and something I was really worried about, and I use Vanquish as an example because Vanquish is a locked save, does not matter. It will still transfer, and you can get it back. Or, well, I guess we'll find out today.
Do you have to get them back to use them? Is it just like basically backing up your save files? Is that all it's doing?
Yeah, I don't think you can't save, as far as I know, I'll test it today. I don't think you can save onto the cloud. I think you save on your system.
Yeah,
and then once every 24 hours, you can refresh that save that you have for that game, I believe, on there. So you can upload things as much as you want, but you can't take things away as much as you want, in other words. So you're not saving onto the cloud. You're saving onto your system. This is a fail-safe in case your system is about to fail.
Gotcha.
And I was really relieved because, I'm Vanquish is like one of my most cherished saves right now because I want to do the challenges, and that save is locked. So if something happened to my Slim, I'd be screwed. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I put my Infamous ones up right away. Got them boys backed up for Infamous 2. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Why do you need them, though? See, that's the thing is that...
Well, Nate Fox, remember, at E3 hinted that maybe
there'd
be some kind of interplay with those trophies.
That's right, yeah.
Interesting, too. I need to go through, I noticed, and 100% both of them. One is 100% for something, and then the other... Or, well, no, neither are, right? Because I have the Platinum in it. But like I switch it around. Like I didn't do all the stunts on the good guy. I did them all on the bad guy. Stuff like that.
The stunts are a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it was funny when I was going through my saves and I was like, I don't need this. And a lot of the saves I went through that I didn't need were saves I got platinums on, even games that like I really care about. I was just like, I don't need this anymore. But then saves that where I was like, oh, maybe I'll go back to BioShock 2 one day. I'm never gonna go back to BioShock 2, but maybe one day I'll do it. So I uploaded it to the cloud.
Cool. The cloud.
All right, final 2 real questions here. Maybe I'll do 3. Anyways, Gustavo writes in and says, what are you most excited about in Mass Effect 3? Colin, go.
I'm excited about the fact that Earth is going to get pwned in Mass Effect 3. It's about time they brought it home,
Made us care.
That's what I'm excited about the most.
What do you got for me, Clemens?
More Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's something to definitely be excited about.
No, I essentially I loved Mass Effect 2 so much that I'm just ready. I'm happy to keep going.
Well, for me, it's more story. I went back and tried to play Mass Effect 2 on PS3, and I just couldn't do it. Like I was just like, like it's so boring to be in a conversation that I know the ending to. You know what I mean?
Even if you're picking different answers.
Yeah. Especially I went and did Renegade, thinking I'll be Renegade this time. It'll be completely different, and then the choices were still very much in line. Like it doesn't really alter the game that much. Like, all right, well,
that's too bad.
I will go play DC Universe Online. Thank you.
And not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. This one comes from Trey Smith. It's a quick one, not even a question, actually. He just wanted to point out that the Sony Xperia Play abbreviates to Sex Play. Just thought I'd put that out there. Thank you, Trey.
Well done.
I will now yell that at Scott Lowe all the time. Where's my Sex Play coverage?
Sex Play.
Final question. Lil Hollywood writes in. He says, Beyond, I'm sure Greg has answered this question before, but is each episode of Back to the Future a different story or just part of a big story? And what's the turnaround to get new chapters? Because Chapter 2 is already on the PC. Little Hollywood, yeah. Every chapter of the Back to the Future story, so far at least, every episode I should say, there's 2 of them so far. They're part of the giant overall arching story of that, they went back in time and screwed something up. But every episode has its own contained thing. Each episode I've beaten, I felt like I've accomplished something, but then there's the dangling of, oh, well, in the bigger plot, this is still where you play out what's happening. Turnaround time is not good on these, apparently. If you remember, PC version came out at the end of December, and we got it on PS3 February.
Yeah.
So I would imagine don't look anytime soon for episode 2
Maybe
on PSP.
May.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know what Telltale's problem is in that. And the port didn't even run that great. Like, that was the problem. It didn't run. And then it went to iPad. It was even worse. So, great game. It was still fun to play, but yeah, that's upsetting.
Troubling.
As they say the least.
Troubling.
Before I turn it over to you, Ryan Clements.
Yes.
A couple housekeeping notes here.
Yes, please.
Phil says it's time for a community beatdown. I'm putting together a community get-together on the PSN. Me and a bunch of my other my IGN users will be playing Uncharted 2 online. I'm not exactly sure when it's taking place, but to participate, people should go to people.ign.com/philp2, PHILPEE2.
Jeez.
Philp, whatever.
Jeez Louise.
And check out my blog. Phil. Also, remember, there's a new Beyond shirt on Cafe Press if you want to try to get a hold of that. I got it. I'm going to wear it to PAX. You should wear it too. tinyurl.com/beyond Colin shirt. It won't be up forever. So we got to move on that.
I also want to say one other thing, if I may, before we go. I will be reviewing Homefront on Tuesday, and I want to just throw it out there to give people enough time to plan if you're going to get that game. I want to play with the readers maybe next weekend.
Ooh.
So,
I might do that too.
So what we'll do is we'll preliminarily say a week from this Saturday we'll play, or maybe this Sunday we'll play, and we'll play some Homefront together.
Okay.
Nice.
Remember, PAX East is this weekend. Come see me, Greg Miller. You can get all the details at tinyurl.com/IGN at PAX East. Saturday at Barlow, 6 to 9. All ages meet and greet. Sunday GameScoop panel at 3:30. Remember, follow us on the Twitters. I'm Game Over Greggy. Colin is No Taxation. Ryan Clements is Pwam Cider. IGN is IGN. No, that's pretty easy to find us. Find us on Facebook if you can get in there. Nobody uses it all that much. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, Facebook gets worse and worse.
I still check it, but oof,
it's really getting worse.
Just to let you guys know, you are getting the only things I post on Facebook are the things that are automatically being posted on Facebook through my Twitter account.
If my Facebook wasn't broken, that would be me too.
Yes.
But it does not do that.
Also, I would like to say, very exciting news. On Monday, you guys should look for a particular review, which may or may not include a Dissidia game that's coming up. It's going to be a big review for me. And I would also like to say, now this is a little bit of an early tease / hint / this is me doing the Beyond listeners a service. Ready?
Yeah.
If you have never played the original Dissidia and you're excited about the next one for some reason or another, do not buy the original before buying the new one. And I will explain why in my review on Monday. I'm trying to save you money.
One more thing before I turn it over once again. Ryan Clements has started a new Xbox podcast here at IGN.com along with Christine Steimer and Arthur Gies. Podcast Unlocked. Your episode 1's posted.
Yeah, it's live.
People should go check it out.
And for again, I'm not leaving Beyond. As you can see, I'm still here, still with the boys.
You're half cyborg now.
I'm half cyborg, but that was only a necessity to interface with the console properly. So
we're not sure if we can trust you anymore.
Well, the cyborg part has complete submissive protocols.
So it's not self-aware?
It's not self-aware yet.
Okay.
Maybe it'll evolve over time.
Well, Skynet did.
So yeah, you can check out that. As Beyond is a Thursday show, Podcast Unlocked is going to be a Wednesday show. So if you want something to do before you listen to Beyond, you can listen to Unlocked.
There you go.
Look at that.
Worked out.
And last but not least, I present to you a song by one Samuel, who writes, "Hey, here's a song I wrote. It's techno. You're awesome. Enjoy."
Wow, that's Kurt. I like that.
I like it. It was great. Also, the song name is spelled out 5, and then in parentheses, stage number 3, end parentheses.
Nice.
5, stage 3. It's a techno song. Beyond.
Beyond!
Good luck in PAX, Greg.
I don't need it.